go ahead and get into some questions. Let's go over to Mark Long under the umbrella for the first one.
Always comments.
I know he's something else. Yeah, Doug, I'm just curious if the Florida Georgia game, how that affects you guys today and tomorrow for potential walkthrough.
Well, we're finished today, so Mark, we just got finished, so it really didn't affect us at all. I think tomorrow, we all have passes to come in here. Hopefully, they'll have it all. Where I'm more concerned about the COVID stuff, you know what I'm saying, of people that are around passing around than anything else. And I think they're probably on the other side of the game. They're probably thinking the same thing. So I talked to the players already about, obviously those who plan on attending, what the rules are, the protocols are for them. So gone over that with them. But I don't think it's going to affect, our schedule, because we're going to be in here early tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? And then try to obviously get out of here before, things start going around, because obviously these hallways become open area, and we'll, get the players, in and get them out, which is normal for a Saturday and a home game.
But you're not, it doesn't affect you guys are kind of in a little bit of a tier 1 bubble there or whatever. But so this doesn't like burst the bubble for the weekend, for the game or anything like that?
No, we won't have anyone in these hallways while we're in the building.
Thank you, Mark. John or Gary, you guys want to jump in? No. There you go. Go ahead, Smitter.
Okay. Hey, Doug, the pass rush has shown some gradual improvement over the last few games. You're getting a few more quarterback hits, a few more pressures and everything. I know you like to see it faster, but do you feel like you're on a pretty good track for getting that back to where you want it to be?
Well, I think you're seeing it, but the production of it, I think what you said, it comes in stages, meaning that, if you're not getting to the quarterback, then the next thing you're looking at is obviously, quarterback hits, pressures, things of that nature. And then obviously the final is the sacks, which, a lot of times it's a combination of coverage and what's going on. Make no mistake about it. I think that, the ability, you look at teams that, can rush 4 and get pressure with 4 rushing, have great success from a standpoint of, how the defense and how they play overall. So for us, those guys starting to come on is good. But we'll still need to obviously keep thinking of, ways to get to the quarterback.
And when you guys were evaluating Josh Allen for the draft, I know durability had to be a big part of it. He never missed a game in 4 years of college, didn't miss a game last year. Has it been your experience that when you had a guy who was what you would call durable, and then inevitably everybody gets hurt, and Josh had to miss a couple of games, is a little bit of a shock to them to finally have that kind of run of being healthy end? And is there a psychological thing you have to work with them on as far as?
Well, I think that's, I can only give you my personal opinion on it, not the organizational opinion. I can't speak for that right now, but my opinion is that, that's what you look for. You look for guys that are durable, in college. And then I think you just have to be aware of sometimes that first injury, that they get, how they come back from it, how they handle it. Because that's something, like you said, that they've never handled before. And I just go back to my experience with, a player that I had, who wasn't injured in college, and he was a really good football player. And, one day in practice, he got injured, and it was almost like someone shot him, and then, he was more in a panic mode. And then after a while, once we calmed him down, he was fine. He wound up playing that week, but, he wasn't someone that was going to handle, injuries well, a true injury. So, I think you work on that and you talk to the player. And I think a lot of it depends on the injury and what they have to do to come back. I think, you see all the times when you guys get these, these ACLs, which are really, really tough injuries, the amount of work that you have to put in to get yourself back, it's tough. And then not to know when you come back how you're going to feel. And then a lot of times it's when you get healthy, are you still favoring things? Are you still favoring, ankles, legs, hands, whatever it may be, to get out there and just start saying. So there is a little bit of time when someone does come back from injury to kind of get them to where they're back feeling confident again. That always weighs into it as well.
And has Josh responded in a good way to that?
Yeah, I don't think it was anything major, so it wasn't. I mean, obviously, it wasn't anything major. So, he has responded well to that.
Thank you.
Thanks, Smitter. Gene, D-Rock, anybody want to wrap us up? Go ahead, John.
Coach, how did Jake look for the rest since we last spoke to you, I believe, on Wednesday? I mean, just what did you? I mean, you feel confident, and how does he feel as far as confident going into this?
He's a kind of a business-like approach guy. Just wants the information. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and talking to Ben and watching how it's being done, and it just really absorbs a lot of information. Wants to do it. He obviously can get rid of it quickly. There are things that you see in practice that you think, that he can overcome, what I'm saying, in a game, whether it's someone coming free or something like that. He'll be able to get rid of the ball with a quick release and be able to get the ball over the top because of his height and things of that nature. But, I go back to the same thing. You just don't know. I mean, for me to sit here and say, hey, I've not evaluated that. That's the one thing that I don't have, that I don't know. Everything tells me it's going to be fine. And his skill level is high, his ceiling's high. We've talked about that all week. But I think until you get out there and do it, I think it remains to be seen. I'd like to be able to tell you guys, hey, listen, and you say, well, why would you say that? Well, I've seen things in practice, but I understand, and I've been around this long enough to see that, practice and games are two different things. I mean, that's where it counts in the performance. So he's had, I feel good about where he's at. I feel obviously confident. I feel that he will be able to do it. I have, all the confidence in the world in that, or else we wouldn't put him out there. And now it remains to see how he performs.
What concerns you the most about this Texas team coming in here?
I mean, there's a couple of things. The matchups, and I'll work through all three. The matchups and special teams. They got some big, strong guys and teams. Obviously, they lost Cole, who was a really star player for them in teams, but. The matchup there. So overall, special teams would just be the physical matchup. They're a little bit different. They're a big, strong team. Some teams are fast, but we've got to watch our matchups with the teams. I think offensively. I think obviously the speed of the receivers, and Deshaun Watson is the first guy you got to talk about. So there's a lot of concerns, a lot of challenges about him. I think defensively. The third down pressure package, we're probably going to see a lot of things that we haven't seen before, things that Jake might not have seen, how we're going to be able to handle that. And, if we can keep ourselves in manageable down and distances, I think then that can help us. But if we get ourselves in, some unmanageable down and distances, I think that can be a problem.
Thank you, Coach.
Sure.
I was going to follow up, Doug, you talked about having passes. Are you going to go to that game? You could cut your teeth in the SEC. You have any interest in actually watching a Florida-Georgia cocktail party?
I mean, I'm not going to say I'm not going to the game, first of all. I just don't want to, what I'm saying? I mean, the protocol to go to a game is probably a little bit over the top for me. You know what I'm saying? To go through that. Are you having a cocktail party? Are you inviting everybody to a cocktail party?
Oh,
I mean, I
need a cocktail party. Are you kidding me?
No, I'll watch it on TV because I do always have an interest in the game. Obviously, with when I passed at at Georgia, but I do have a good relationship with Florida, so it's kind of gotten tougher, over the years. There's a lot of people in this town that are Florida Georgia fans, so I just I try to stay in the middle.
Can I ask you?
Try to be like Switzerland.
Can I ask you another completely hypothetical question that will have no bearing on anything in the world.
Isn't
2017.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's fine.
2017, you're 3 months on the job here. You had no control over the draft. But if it was up to you, who would you have taken 4th overall to set the tenor of your era?
I don't even, I mean, that's so long. I really don't know who was available, who not. I would have taken, I don't know. I can't, that question I can't answer. I will not answer.
You could answer.
Now you'll come out with something like, hey, your silence is as loud as or whatever. It'll be like a front page deal. I mean, I know where this is going. Why can't you predict it? Why can't you say it? Why do you got to put that shit on me? Come on.
Well, I just don't know. I know you.
I don't know. I don't even know what was going. I don't know.
Can I read you the? You want me to read you the draft, the picks? Who was gone?
No. Why don't you guys do a poll? I mean, that's better.
Lots of polls. Let's go over to Gene for the final question.
Hey, Doug. Just curious. Do you really think that a one game, if it works out where Gardner could possibly return next week, as far as Jake goes, is really one game doesn't appear to be much of a sample size to, accurately assess his abilities to handle game day, unless of course he just completely falls on his face. But I'm just saying, would you like to see more than one game sample size?
Gene, I think you always want to do that. I think when you look at, when these quarterbacks go in and, if they play okay, you're like, okay, let's see another one. If they fall on their face right away, everyone's like, get rid of them, and if they play well, he's already crowned as a savior, so I think there's so many different extremes that go into, the first time someone's playing in that position. Probably more so than any other position, really, on the field. So I think it's something that, you want to make sure. Is it, I don't even know if it's, 1, 2, or 3. A lot of it depends on. I go back to, something I learned